For the longest time, we've been aware, and the international community has been aware, that the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Israel have been responsible for the rise of ISIS. And these three particular countries are responsible for getting the weapons to them that they use. Now, there has been no conclusive evidence, there's been no direct proof until now. An investigation has been carried out, and from the trail of paperwork and people who have leaked documents and people who have been willing to come forward, there is now substantial proof that the United States has been sending arms to the Islamic State. Explosive documents from the Serbian state-owned arms firm company Krušik and Yugo Import SDPR, including emails, internal memos, contracts, photos, delivery schedules, and packing lists with lot numbers and weapons and their buyers. Among the leaked documents received a scanned passport of arms dealers and government officials from the U.S., Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. They've been involved in the trafficking of at least 3 million pieces of Serbian weapons, mortar shells, and rockets to Yemen and Syria in the past 3 years. The tracking the lot number of these Serbian weapons, the person was able to identify and trace mortar shells in the hands of the Islamic State terrorists in Yemen back to their buyer, the U.S. government. What this does is expose one of the biggest lies of U.S. foreign policy, and that is the United States is committed to fighting ISIS around the world. That, in fact, the opposite is true. The U.S. is largely responsible for the creation and the maintenance of one of the most terrifying terrorist organizations that has ever existed. On July 27, 2019, the Islamic State released one of their videos where they brag about what it is that they do, etc. They released a propaganda video from their branch in Yemen. One 5-second frame shows the weapons and the information written on those weapons that shows that they were purchased by the U.S. government and then given to ISIS fighters. The mark on the mortar shells is clearly visible, 82mm M74 HEKV lot 0418. These two letters, KV, means that these mortar shells were manufactured by the Serbian arms factory Krušik. K stands for Krušik and the V stands for Valjevo, and the town where the factory is located. The following digits, 0418, mean that the mortar shells are lot 04 produced in 2018. Now, this lot 0418, the investigator involved in this has managed to trace the origins of these weapons, and not just that, but the entire life of these weapons until they ended up in the hands of the Islamic State. According to the documents, such 82mm M73HE mortar shells, which appear in the Islamic State videos of Yemen, were purchased by the American company Alliance Systems LLC on behalf of the U.S. government. The exporter was the Serbian state-owned company Yugo Import SDPR. The packing list of the weapons for the export was signed on the 12th of February 2018. They were purchased under the contract MP00135498 between Yugo Imports SDPR and Alliance Tech Systems LLC USA. The quantity of weapons was 10,500 pieces. Now, according to that contract signed on the 20th of January 2017, the American company Alliant Tech Systems purchased a total of 105,150 pieces of 82mm mortar shells needed for the needs of the U.S. government. Now, that was the exporter Yugo Import SDPR Serbia manufacturer Krušik in Serbia. Both Serbian companies are state-owned and directly under the control of the Serbian government. So none of this trying to blame private companies on this. This is coming directly from the government itself. The price of the deal was indicated in the contract as about $8,043,000. The shipping address in the contract is LCAAP Receiving 25201 East 78 Highway, Independence, Missouri 640 56. This is the address of Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, a U.S. government-owned facility in the northeastern Independence, Missouri. However, in the attached documents, the shipping address is changed to the Afghan National Army Ammo Depot, 22 Bankers, Poli Chakari, Afghanistan. Combined with the Security Transition Command, Afghanistan, this is a lead U.S. Department of Defense agency which tracks shipment delivery from issue to end user and coordinates the delivery to the ammunition depot in Kabul. So this means this not only left a state-owned arms manufacturer in Serbia, it went directly into the hands of the U.S. government and then went to Afghanistan, where they were then sent off to another place. According to the U.S. Federal Contracts Registry, that contract is for the delivery of non-U.S. standard ammunition and mortar weapons system. The country of origin is Bulgaria, meaning the Bulgarian weapons were also purchased under the same Pentagon contract. The American national Paul McKinnon Miller Evans, who visited Krusek to inspect the Saudi-purchased weapons as representative of Army Trans USA in 2017, was listed as the project manager at Heptagon Global Trading, United Arab Emirates, during his second visit in 2018. Another American national, Helmut G. Mertens, who visited Krusek as director of Heptagon Global Trading UAE, appears to have been involved in the details on the Balkans for the last 10 years. Now, there is a ton of more information in the description. In fact, this investigator who's put out a 3-part series on tracking the weapons that have ended up into the hands of the Islamic State of coming from the U.S. government, has also had issues of their site being DDoS'd once this information became public in an attempt to censor them. So the fact that such a considerable effort is being put forward to censor this report that was made by this investigator certainly shows that there is something here. Now, what I've given you is only the surface of what has been going on. But if you go and you read the full documents, you check everything, and there's enough here to prove that the United States has been deliberately and knowingly sending weapons to the Islamic State while claiming that they have been putting forward efforts to fight it. That means any Americans who have died as a result of the Islamic State, partial blame is to be put on the U.S. government and the ruling class of the United States for their continuing support for the terrorist organization. But don't expect this news to end up on, say, CNN, Fox, or MSNBC. This is far too explosive. This is far too critical of not just the administration of Donald Trump. This is something that goes much further back. This goes into at least 3 U.S. presidencies. This is not something a single U.S. president has done. This is something that the system has done. In fact, there's a very long history of funding Islamic terrorist groups, or at least extremists, in order to forward the interests of imperialism. Many documentaries will point to the UK and how they frequently funded many Islamic extremist groups in order to undermine nationalist groups inside those countries which wanted to unite to end British power over those countries. And that same tactic has continued with the United States. And what we're seeing here is proof of that. What is to be considered the most dangerous terrorist organization in existence is being given weapons directly by the United States of America. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.